welcome. Come in. This is Tamika's Den. I'm Tamika. Get on in here, y'all. Get on in here. Kick off your shoes and relax your feet. You are now in the den. So, guys, of course, today we are here to break it on down, talk about Zatima and some of these things that's going on. Let me go ahead and bring in my co-host.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How you feeling today?
Feeling
Oh
pretty
shoot,
good, pretty
sorry
good.
y'all. I just realized my daggone TV was on. So y'all probably hearing all kind of noise in the background. See, I told you it's always something every time I go live.
Hey, I understand.
So guys, we are here today, of course, to talk about Zatima season 2. Um, you know, episodes 3 and 4. Okay, had a lot going on. It was a lot going on. I got some questions. I got some things that is on my mind. Shoot, I might have to make. I haven't been doing separate recaps. I've just been doing these lives, but I was like, this one might make me do like at least 2 different videos because I was really having some questions with this one. What did you think about these 2 episodes?
I
Or the
mean,
first episode, whichever, however way you want to talk about it.
it was a lot. I'm not even gonna lie. Honestly, I was real frustrated with Zach this entire episode. I'm not even gonna lie. I was like, dang, Zach. I was like, I really, I rocked with Zach, but
Mm-hmm.
I ain't even gonna lie. In this episode, I was so fed up with Zach. I was like, you know what? I'm done. Stick a fork in me because I can't
Yes.
do it.
Yes. I definitely felt the same way too. I keep saying that it's like really a different dynamic watching this compared to sisters because I watch both and I know that I mentioned on our last live that sometimes we didn't get that in depth with Zach's character. I feel like we kind of got the surface of it because it was more so focused on the sisters and Zatima. We're getting more into them and their life, and it's definitely aspects that I like about that. But then it's also where it's like I don't know, it just seems like kind of a complete different character in some ways because I don't remember Zach like being so we're gonna get more into it, but I was like, I don't remember Zach being like this. Like he was always direct and blunt and things of that nature, wouldn't back down from people. But it was more so Fatima that came across as the one that was, ready about it. She may fight you or she may get her goons or her family members or somebody else that she gonna have that come in the mix. That was more so the dynamic, and it would be most of the time him calming her down. So I felt like that was a different aspect. And I got some questions about the French child. I just a couple different things. So, we gonna go ahead and get into it, though. So, of course, when we first was, starting out the episode, it's kind of like I guess the morning after she getting ready for work, her and Angela's talking on the phone and things of that nature. You want to talk a little bit about this part? Just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the aftermath of Zach having his breakdown when we last saw him.
Yeah, I'll talk about Angelo extra thirsty self.
Yes.
I said Angela done got up and put this green on, which I ain't even gonna lie, that green was banging. I said
Yes.
Angela is acting real thirsty right now. She done got here early for Fatima car. I'm like, girl, it's not even your
Mhm.
car. But yet you are out here early, ready to rock and roll, trying to get here, trying to get her to get there. And then, we realized that Angela is not Team Zach at all. Like she is way on the fence with Zach. She wants Fatima to keep her options open. And she really is riding for this Paul dude. I'm like, girl, we don't even know him, but we know Angela like to move fast. So, that is what it is. But it was just a cute little interesting scene. I just loved her outfit. I ain't gonna lie. She was rocking that thing.
Mhm. Yeah, they definitely they outfits be on point. She had them, Mrs. sitting up, propped up good, a good bra on. And yeah, she definitely is giving real thirsty. And I'm just like, okay, girl, even Fatima's kind of telling her to calm down. Of course, she telling her she gotta, have this conversation with Zach and that she gonna tell her more about it later. And
Yeah.
then when Zach comes down, of course she's trying to check in with him, make sure he all right and all of that kind of stuff. So this is the part of Zatima that I like, just seeing them together, seeing them being a team, seeing them feeling into each other. If we could just have this part without all the other mess, I know, it's gonna be drama, everything ain't gonna be perfect, but I'll be like, child, seriously, some of this stuff we just don't need.
Okay. Yeah, I like this
So,
part right here where she was being, just letting Zach know, like, hey, I'm there for you. I got you. And I guess
hmm
this part right here where she's reinforcing, that she cares about him, that, I got you, don't worry about it. And she's making sure that he understands it. I guess that's what baffles me as we get into the rest of the doggone episode
hmm
because of this part right here.
absolutely. Hey, Alicia. Hey, Sherry. Thank y'all for joining us.
Hey,
Appreciate
ladies.
everybody for coming through. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Blatant truth. So you already know how I feel about Zach on Deja. I just can't with her. What did you think about this whole thing? We got her out here with the neck brace, just carrying on.
Girl, every time Deja in a scene, low key, I love seeing Deja in a scene. For whatever reason, I feel like Deja brings something to this. Like she just brings this little messiness to it that it just
Mm-hmm.
needs that little. And I ain't even gonna lie, I get to chuckle out of her every time. And
yeah.
I'm realizing at first I thought this character was like, I was like, she just not needed. But
Mm-hmm.
then as we've seen more and more of her, I was like, okay, I get it now. And to be honest, she brings that little bit of a balance that you need so you can really start to see some of the nuances too, because how Fatima acts with her versus how, well, and then versus how she thinks. Once we get down into the episode, I'll talk
Mm-hmm.
about that a little bit more. But
Mm-hmm.
we see how she always come for Deja because Deja is
Right.
extra. It is what it is. But Deja is up front, and that's what I think I like about Deja is that we know what Deja want. It ain't even a
Mm-hmm.
question. We just know.
right. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. So Lord, she was falling all over the ground. Fatima go and throw her daggone back, talking about, let me help you.
Oh, when she
And
threw
I'm
that
like, just
wine.
stay away from her. Like, why do you keep coming and saying, she said, but can she be the funny, messy neighbor without throwing herself at Zach? Yeah, because she still trying to throw herself at him no matter what Fatima's doing, which is crazy to me.
Okay, because she
Um,
don't care. I think that's what makes it so interesting is that we know that she knows she tinkering with danger.
hmm
We know this, but yet she still keeps doing it.
Right.
And it's just hilarious. It's almost
hmm
hilarious the way she goes about doing it. That's what's so funny
Absolutely.
about it.
Yeah, I would agree with this too. Their sanctuary seems to be inside their home, but when there's no interference from other people, yeah, or forces, yeah, because at the
Yeah.
minute some of these friends and family get involved, baby, and even strangers, it turns into a whole nother thing. So of course, once they get here to the job, like I just was trying to understand what was this all about, like. Why was Zach so threatened that he helped out with the car? Like I was trying to understand it.
Girl, you and me both. Because okay, so my initial thoughts when I saw the way that Zach reacted, because even though we've seen the entire episode, I'm just
Mm-hmm.
gonna say this from my perspective of when I first saw it. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, Zach, why are you so angry? Like, he literally hasn't done anything. He hasn't
Mm-hmm.
said anything. You don't even know that. It's not like the Deja situation where we
Right.
know what she wants. We don't know anything about what this character actually wants right now. So, why
Mm-hmm.
are you initially so angry? You go over there to him with this rah rah. And we
Mm-hmm.
could go on and say that, oh, Zach was going through something. But I'm sorry, this right here was the part where I was like, Zach, you just being way too disrespectful and you doing too much right now for somebody that we don't know
Right.
what they want.
Yeah, I agree. I felt the same way. I just was like, what is this? And like I said, I'm not used to being Zach like this. Usually, seeing Zach like this. Usually, he's a more laid back character. Of course, he have that side where, like I say, he can be very blunt and come out his face and, have a reply toe to toe back and forth with you. But I don't usually see him come off as an aggressive that's just right off the back having an attitude with you without knowing you, without you coming out at him first or something. So
Yeah.
that was just a little different side of him to me. Maybe I missed something. And then when we get to these two, we were saying on our last live that they needed to talk, that it was way overdue. What did you think about this whole situation?
Girl, I just need Angela to put on her big girl panties and go ahead and do what she got to do. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a simple conversation. You and Fatima are friends. Bryce has to realize that Fatima and Angela are friends. He has
Mm-hmm.
to know that Zach has told Fatima about this
Right.
situation. So he has to know that if there is a disconnect from somebody this quickly, what could it have been? Wow, Bryce. Well, I imagine what in the world could you have done to make Angela disconnect from you this quickly? It's just like there's like nobody's home. You know what I'm saying? The lights
Right.
are on, nobody's there. And I'm like, Bryce, come on, get it together. But I want Angela to just be direct and say, hey, I heard about what happened, and this is what it is. Period. It's
Absolutely.
simple.
Yeah, absolutely. That was kind of weird to me. I didn't see why he would be shocked that Zach would have definitely mentioned something like that. Why would that be a shock to him? And also, I agree. I think that this is a conversation they should have been had. Like, Angela needs to put her big girl panties on. I guess it happens that way in real life too, but it's like she could give, Fatima advice or look at her situation, but the whole time she's avoiding her own situation. So
Exactly.
yeah, definitely interesting. Um, I might be jumping, but I feel like just putting it out there. I don't like these people. I don't like these friends. I don't really like Fatima friends or Zach friends, to be honest. And the more I see Zach friends, I'll be like, I could kind of understand, between his friends and family, why he is the way that he is and stuff like that. And I think I'm kind of like Tony is growing on me. I felt like they both was annoying me in the first half of season one, and then towards the second half of season one and the beginning part of this season so far, what we've been seeing. I hope I'm getting the right names, y'all, because I'll be mixing up these names since I'm doing so many shows. But I think Tony is the one that I'm finding to be like more level headed, kind of coming over and being the even kill between them and trying to get them back together and different stuff like that, and not having so much negative stuff to say. But
Mm-hmm.
then the other one is still just being uh I'm
He's
like,
something
why
else.
do it's crazy to me because like you just mentioned, Angela's having a problem with Zach, and then they're having a problem with Fatima, and I'm trying to understand what is the issue with Fatima that they have. Like, what has she done that y'all could prove that y'all feel is negative or bad for Zach or anything like that?
Nothing at all. Nothing at all. I mean, to be honest, what it really is that okay, before Zach was broke and he didn't have no money.
Mm-hmm.
Now Zach has money and they figure, oh, now we can do all the things that we wanted to
Right.
do. But now he has this girlfriend and now she's in the way and she done moved into the house and now there's not this bachelor pad that they thought they were going to be able to have. It's
Mm-hmm.
selfish, is what it is when it all boils
Right.
down to. It has nothing to do with Fatima, and it just goes to show that these and Tony, like you said, for me, Tony started to grow on me a little bit, but sometimes Tony comes back. Like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes Tony does too much, and I'm like, dude, I was just starting to like you.
Right.
And then you had to go there. But Nate, I don't think I'll ever respect Nate as far
Mm-hmm.
as just how he's always coming off. Do I think that the character brings something to the show? Absolutely. I mean, that's why we're talking about him right
Yeah.
now. But do I like him? Heck no. And I just
Mm-hmm.
feel like with friends, like seriously, these friends that they have, I don't know how they plan on making it down the aisle. Literally, like
Yeah.
these friends
Absolutely.
are horrible.
Um, Blatant Truth says yes, Tony is changing for the better for now at least. And then she says, um I'm sorry, I skipped. She says Nate wants to go and live the single life
Who's
through
that?
Zach and then be in
Exactly.
party with him. Yeah, I definitely could see that. And there is some friends like that, so I'm not gonna say it's not realistic and it can't be that way. You could have a group of friends and they each one kind of bring a different dynamic, and one may be just a little bit more negative about some things or more opinionated about some things. I do think they kind of put the extra sauce on it, but I'm like, you might need to reevaluate some of this some of this stuff for real. Because one of the things I had up here, just kind of with both of these episodes and how some of these friends was acting, was like, what kind of friends are there? Some are there, sometimes that saying my grandmother used to be saying that, with friends like these, who needs enemies? That's what they be giving me at
Exactly.
certain times, y'all.
At
I'm
certain
like, I
times,
got
they
my
really
eye
do.
on y'all.
They really, really do. Especially that doggone Nate. But like I said, for me, Tony, he just on the fence. Like sometimes, like I think it was that the basketball scene where I was like,
Hmm.
Tony, you reverting, come back to the light.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, Sherry, I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right, says Nate was upset that Fatima told Lori about the backyard with Deja. Oh, I think that added on it, but to me he was kind of giving judgment and was
Yeah, he was.
already kind of throwing stuff before then. That probably was like the icing on the cake, or like another excuse for him to not like
Yeah,
her. And he shouldn't have been doing that in the first place. He was wrong, period. Like, why would you
exactly.
come to Zach's house and even, get in the mix of that in the first place? But of course, he ends up telling him to leave, and he was there talking. Now, I don't know, maybe it was the lighting, but it was weird to me that he was just had on a blue shirt, and all of a sudden this shirt was looking gray. I was confused.
It really did. But it was a couple of things in this episode that I was like, okay, just let it go, Eric. Let it go. Let it go. Just watch.
Yes. But they sit down conversation, and this is one of the times when I do like him. I liked him when
Yeah.
he was in the barbershop talking to him, and when
Hmm.
they were sitting down here talking, I had liked the dynamic. So it was like you said, it goes kind of up and down when it comes to Tony or whatever. I don't know, child. I don't
Yeah.
know if it's gonna be a positive or a negative for Zach.
You never really know with this one. But in this moment though, seriously though, he was showing that he was concerned about his friend and he was really trying to
Mm-hmm.
be there for him. And this was one of those up moments for me with
Right.
this particular character. I was like, okay, okay,
Mm-hmm.
we good for now.
Right. Hey, HEA. Thanks for coming through.
I
Appreciate
know,
you.
right, Shari? I was side eyeing the heck out of him too. I'm like, bruh, sit
Yeah, like
down.
what is going on here? Why are you like I'm confused? So of course Fatima's at work now, and I like that they still, show her at work, and she's saying, oh, Andy Barnes and whatever, even though we ain't seeing Andy in here, but she getting busy doing what she gotta do. And then she go to talk to Mr. Bob the Builder, according to Zach. Okay. And they end up, of course, he, say he's gonna come down too or whatever, and they end up in this elevator and getting stuck, of course. And, having this whole conversation where he's actually saying that he had different things that he was able to use that helped him, and he's trying to offer her information for that. But then he also was flirting too. I mean, let's just be real.
Yes, he
He
was
was
flirting
saying he
hard.
have a certain type, because she was trying to play matchmakers, and she know thirsty Angela, been looking at him, and it's like, well, let me take this opportunity since I'm in here and see what's going on for my friend. But he was
Mhm.
like, no, I got a certain type. All my family members look alike and all that. So you want to talk a little bit about this?
Yeah. So, in this moment, I was like, okay, well, Zach, you was kind of right, at the end of the day, but then you didn't know you was right. Like none of us knew
Mm-hmm.
you were right about this, but yeah, it was interesting how he's kind of coming on to Fatima and how he tells her like about the disrespect thing, and then she
Yeah.
immediately takes up for Zach and is like, look, this is not how he typically is, and for me personally, I don't know how Zach typically is. I've only
Mm-hmm.
seen him in this show, so I haven't seen him act this way at this point. So I was
Mm-hmm.
just like, this is crazy. Why is he acting like this? But she's saying that that's not who he usually is, and that you would like him, and they're going on and on about that. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see if this is going to be a character that they actually keep around and what his role really is going to be. I mean, Fatima has already shot down his thought process of anything that they could possibly have. He doesn't want to get with Angela. So what could he possibly do? We know what Deja's, what she's there for, but what could he really be there for? So I don't know. I'm just wondering if this is like a one and done, or will it, will he stay for some reason, and why? Hmm.
Yeah, definitely. Like for me, like I said, I've never seen Zach be this way. Like to me, Zach is more so if you come at me, I'm gonna defend myself. I never seen him, at least from what we know and saw on Sisters, besides when it was a situation where I don't know, it was like I think the brother of this psychotic ex that daggone Karen was dating at the time came to her house and was trying to do something. He came in defense of her. Besides him also recently on Sisters getting into a fight with Aaron that got really out of hand and crazy. But outside of that, it's always been more so like if he's on defense, if somebody's coming at him. Other than that, he's always kind of had the laid back persona. He would definitely read you down and tell you about yourself and be on point and be able to come back at you word for word. But he never struck me as somebody that's like going to be losing his temper quick, ready to just fight off the back. And then in this instance, when these elevator doors open and he see her, it's like if Fatima's telling you, wait, Zach, hold on, such and such happened, I would think that he would have that trust in her and listen to what she was saying, and it just seemed like she had to really try to bring him back down. What's funny is that they actually act a lot alike. They do some of the same things,
Exactly. I was just
and
gonna say
then
that.
if it's the opposite way, Fatima wouldn't necessarily calm down right away either if the roles was reversed. But I just found it interesting that he went to like from 0 to 100 real quick. But I know I'm kind of skipping because before he even got in the elevator, then that's when we had Bryce also come in and kind of say to him, I guess he was shocked that he had told Fatima, which we already kind of touched on that. Why would you be shocked? And then he kind of came out his face to Zach because he was mad. And this is another moment when we see Zach lose his cool and
Yeah.
he done throw him up against. I'm like, listen, this is your place of business. Y'all do still gotta work together. Like we gotta figure something out other than
Okay.
causing fights and stuff because we don't want to go back to jail. That's not what we trying to do. So I just was confused as where we was going with this, but I definitely
Exactly.
understood like where Zach was coming from and felt like, how did you think I wasn't gonna tell my girl what was going on?
Yeah.
Like that
Exactly.
just to me seemed like it wouldn't have even been a surprise.
Exactly. That's why I said I don't understand why Bryce didn't put all of this
Mm-hmm.
together himself. Like literally, it just makes sense. And then when Zach gets kind of angry with him about the situation, like I understand why Zach is angry. We talked about
Mm-hmm.
that last week about how he felt hurt. And then he used a trigger word with him. Of course, he used
Right.
the
His
mama
mother.
word, and that's already something that he has going on right now. So, it was what it was. Bryce just was in the wrong place at the wrong time. He chose the wrong time to have this
Mm-hmm.
conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Is what it all boils down to. Not
Yeah.
saying it was right, but it was just bad timing.
Yeah. Absolutely. I agree with that. So of course, this is when he come in here and I was just like, oh God, what is going on here? Because she just seemed like she could not get him to calm down. He still was going, well, I hear you, but I don't hear you. You're still not explaining to me what's happening. And then once she said she was finished talking, he was like, okay, well, you're finished talking. Now I'm talking to him. And he just was going real hard at him. And I was like, listen, you don't know this man could have had a daggone gun on him, anything like.
Yeah. And the part about it is that like we were saying, like you were saying earlier, is that he and Fatima are so much alike. They literally just did the reverse
Mm-hmm.
with each other. She did the same thing with Deja, and he's doing the same thing with Paul. The only difference is, and I'm gonna keep pointing this out, is that we already know Deja's true intention. It has already been said, done, put out there. We already knew it. But initially, when Zach first came with the aggressiveness towards Paul, we didn't know what the intention was displaced, but we do see that these two are, they two peas in a pod. They literally are just alike when it comes to each other. But I don't know. It was funny the way Paul kind of hemmed him up in that corner, but I was like, Oh, you gotta know. Don't do it. He gonna do something. He about to hit you. I don't know what he gonna do just yet, but if you let him go, he gonna do something.
Yeah,
But
that was funny. I wasn't expecting that. And then I'm like, no, if I was him, I would have been just trying to get away from them both and get out that elevator. Like, y'all crazy. I don't want no parts of this. Because I'm like, you should know it wasn't going to just be left alone at that by you, pushing him up in the elevator. So, of course, Zach, he just was really not trying to play with this dude.
He's like, I'm
Um,
not having it. And then I'm like, dude, here's my thing is that, like I said, I understand like his anger. I get that he was upset and all of this, and that he still got all of this stuff going on. But once Fatima actually tells you, like, look, there's nothing going on, at that point, I feel like this should be dead. Like, there shouldn't be anything else said about it. But he just continues to go on, and she's trying to explain to him like, no, like, nothing happened. And then if you think about it, like, what really could have happened, Zach?
Right. I
Like,
mean, you
seriously.
supposed to know Fatima better than that. That was my whole thing. Even if this dude was trying to press up on her, Fatima know how to handle herself very well. Okay. And she carries a gun as far as I know, and so do Karen. So he definitely got a certain type that he be liking. And trust me, if Fatima felt like she was in any type of danger, she would handle that. And as far as anybody trying to hit on her, she gonna shut them down. So on the one hand, I could get it. I just still didn't feel like he needed to go to that extreme. But once she started giving him the breakdown, why should you feel that Fatima's gonna lie to you? You know what I mean? Why should you feel like you can't trust her? So it still didn't kind of make no sense in the way that he was reacting to me, with knowing the type of person that she is and the type of relationship that y'all supposed to have. So just thought that was really curious. I don't know if it's because he already got so many more things piled on him, like she was trying to first say. Because even she's saying, like, this is not like him. This is not the way he acts. But I'm sure from his perspective, he like, well, this gotta be because this the only thing I'm seeing from him. This brother is really, trying to come at me hard. So
Somebody put a
I don't
comment,
know.
Renee.
Bring the truth says I think Paul would have beat Zach up if he wanted to. I think yeah. I mean, hey, he might have gave him a run for his money. And then she says, I have a theory that Paul is a setup from Belinda. I'm sorry, these words are so small, y'all. And Angela to break up Zach and Fatima because how would a video, be leaked? Yeah, we gonna definitely get into that because I have some thoughts about Miss Angela. That's why one of my things that I had up here, and as far as well, we'll get to it because I already said the whole what kind of friends are they, but I have a question in reference to Miss Angela too, and y'all bring it up just in time because this is when we start going into the fourth episode, and we seeing them sitting down having a conversation. She's there with Belinda or whatever, and Belinda's still trying to carry the same lies. She's still trying to say, oh, I was just trying to warn her about Zach and show her who Zach was, which we know was a lie. And I have
Mhm.
to say, like, I like Angela a little bit more than Belinda, but then Angela does things at times. Even she hasn't had big spots on Sisters, but she's been there like a few times with her on there. And then even watching her in season one, there's times when Angela would just make me give her the side eye. And there's one instance that happened recently on Sisters where she was the one that gave Fatima the picture where he was supposedly kissing Karen, which he really wasn't. And that started out the whole fight that went down between him and Aaron and just a whole big commotion. And she could never say specifically who this picture came from. She just kept saying it was a friend. So
Mhm.
now to then come here and see this dynamic, if you know that I don't mess with Belinda like that, why would you be giving Belinda any info about me and talking about me to Belinda? Like I'm not understanding that. And then I will say that she was calling her out and being like, now girl, you lying, you did, because before she was even kind of acting like she didn't know who was telling the truth, whether Fatima was telling the truth or whether Belinda was telling the truth. It was like she was trying to stay neutral.
Mhm.
But in a situation like this, I feel like wrong is wrong. I don't care who you are. It could be my mother, sister, brother, cousin, whatever, my child. If you wrong, I'm gonna tell you wrong. So that's to
Exactly.
me what real friends do. So I just was kind of like, Angela, what side are you playing on? Like, what is your purpose? I was, what did you think about this whole thing?
Girl, I was so livid with Angela, like because like I thought at first I used to always think Angela might be the only solid friend in this whole thing, like
Mm-hmm.
she might be the only solid one, and I get the concept of you've been friends with both of them, and in
Mm-hmm.
theory you can't just break it off with Belinda just because her and Fatima get into it. I get that, I
Right.
really do, but there comes a time when you have to draw a line, like in that excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit sick.
Mm-hmm.
But remember when I was saying that it was some stuff I had to just let go? Well, one of the things I had to let go was the fact about the video, because there was a point where she says that she saw the video, but then Angela tells Fatima that she sent her the video. But at the table, Angela is about to show her the video. I said, y'all need to make it make sense for me, but I'm gonna let that one go. But at the end of the day, it seems like what they were trying to get at is that Angela was the one who got the video to Belinda. So why are you even showing this video? Why are you talking about this? Why are you gossiping about this? Because that's literally
Mm-hmm.
what you're doing. But then in the same token, you want to turn around and say, that's our friend. We not gonna do that. We did it. I'm like, but girl, you started this off by sending the video but you already know how Belinda feel about Fatima. You already know that she is going to take any chance that she gets to get
Mm-hmm.
at her. She don't care about their friendship that used to be. All she want to do is get back at her. So why would you even do that? Like, what type of friend are you? It was so contradictive in this moment.
Absolutely.
I was just like, girl, I cannot with you. And that's why I was like, all of these friends is trash in my opinion
Yeah.
right now. And that was in
Yeah, that's
total only because that
definitely the
face
part
off.
that starts making me give her the side eye too, where I'm like, what are we really doing here? Because I did feel like she was one of the realer friends out of the, at least out of the two. And because of course on Sisters, Fatima and Andy have kind of formed, somewhat of a friendship. They're still kind of learning each other, but these are friends you supposed to have known for years. Just like when it comes to Zach, Nate and Tony are friends that he's known for years. So it's just really, really weird.
Yeah.
Um, Now of course we get to this basketball court. Zach feel like he got to let out some steam or whatever, and they, as his friends, are already seeing like, oh, he's frustrated. And I think they even bring up something about him not getting none and all that different kind of stuff.
Girl.
And
Girl.
was I mistaken, or was it like they told, what was her name, Claudia? What's the
Connie.
girl with the blue dress?
Connie.
Oh, Connie. I knew it was something with a C. I don't know where I get Claudia. Child. I tell you, I'm doing so many shows. So Connie, did they tell her where he was at and tell her to come
Yes.
here?
Nate did that. Nate
Yeah,
called Connie and
I
told
can't.
her.
I can't. I'm like, where are we going with this? Like, seriously?
Yeah, she just didn't pop up. She wasn't stalking.
Right.
Nate
I knew
called
she had
her.
to find out from somewhere, because I'm like, how's she tracking down Zach? I think I kind of missed that part, trying to multitask and do things and
Yeah.
watching it at the same time. But I'm like, I'm assuming he told her to come here. I just want to
Mhm.
verify
Yeah,
before
he
I
did.
start getting into his behind.
Yeah, he sure did. And that's what ticked me off even more. He already trash, but the fact that you really gonna even put your friend in this type of position, we already know
Exactly.
that Zach has a little bit of history with women. So why would you even try to force him and put him in that position? It just goes back to
Hmm.
reinforce that he wants him to not be with Fatima, and he'll do it by any means necessary. What kind of friend is that wants you to not be happy, that tries to negate your happiness?
Right.
That's crazy to
That
me.
doesn't make sense to me. Like I said, I could see if it was a situation where Zach would be coming to them complaining, oh, she did this, she did that, she did the other. Of course, if any friend hearing you constantly complain or hearing you constantly being treated wrong or something, then they're going to be like, nah, stay away from that person, get away from them. You better than that. You deserve better than that. Things of that nature. They may try to start hooking you up with somebody, but that has not been their experience with Fatima. They haven't even gave her a chance, so it's very weird to me.
Exactly. It's very weird.
Hey
And then,
Moochie, thanks for coming through.
hey
And
Moochie.
you guys, if you're not subscribed to Michela's Review, go ahead and check her out. Hit the hammer and let her know you came through, okay?
Okay. What you say? Ow.
Hmm.
I'll be
And
trying to say
please
that. I was like,
do
I can't
like the
say
video, y'all. We appreciate it.
it. But you know what else? Before I forget, because they was irritating me. Girl, it was a lot of stuff that was irritating me. I was just sitting up
Yes.
there talking to the TV. I was like, y'all irritating me right now. But it's been a day. And he's sitting up here talking about Zach got blue, and I'm like, dude, it's literally been a day. Like
Right. They
literally
act
it
like
was
it's been months, weeks.
yesterday. She just got him the side chick the day
Mm-hmm.
before. They literally
Mm-hmm.
just had sex that morning. Like,
Right.
I'm like, what are we talking about here, guys?
Yeah, they
Y'all
doing
doing
the
too
most with
much.
that. I'm sorry. I
Oh my
just don't
goodness.
see it. I don't.
They
And ooh, child. Okay, this is when she's sitting down with Fatima doing a check-in with her, giving her update, and of course she lets her know all about Belinda having what we was just talking about, the video of this now, and her sending it to her but not knowing that she was gonna put. It's like, why would you send her the video? That was like just one of my things that I wrote out. I'm like, what is freaking Angela doing? Why is Angela giving Belinda info? If you know we do not mess with each other, I can't stop you from messing with her. But you have to respect the fact that I'm not messing with her, even if it's temporary, if it's permanent, whatever. Because Fatima's telling you, like, nah, I'm done with her. And you're steadily telling Fatima, oh, but we have this long friendship. No, you're not. We go way back and all the years and this and that. But obviously, all those years didn't mean much to Belinda because she would have never did what she did with Zach. That ruined all the years we had. If you're my friend like that and you've been rocking with me for all those years, there's no way you should be trying to push up on my daggone man, or I should be trying to push up on yours.
Exactly.
Period.
Exactly. Period. It ain't no ifs, ands, buts about it. Ain't no
And now
I was
you're
trying
trying
to
to
show
do
you.
something else that could potentially hurt me.
Exactly. Ain't no ifs, ands, buts about it. And when Angela's just like, I didn't know she would do that. Girl, yes, you did. Yes, you did. Stop playing with us. I'm like, girl, stop playing. You knew it. Like, I just
Yeah.
hate that whole thing where she tries to act so oblivious. I'm like, don't do that, Angela, because you know Belinda. You've been friends with her for a very long time. This is nothing new. Belinda's actions are not just something that just happened overnight. She been like this.
Yes, I agree. Fatima should see that there are issues whenever Angela's involved. Yeah, she do got to take a step back and see that is an issue there. Mm-mm.
Exactly. Neither of. I was trying to read that comment.
No, she said the friends from Zatima are going to have the talk like Andy, Karen, and Fatima Penhouse talk. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is that the one where this last? Because I saw your review of when they were all talking
Yeah,
and
they like to have their meetings and say they gotta talk.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's too many of them episodes, y'all. I'm sorry, I can't
Yeah,
go look
that
at
is very true, and that makes a difference as well.
Let me see what you say.
She said neither one of the men have a functioning relationship. Does Tony even have a woman? Tony, I'm sorry, Tony has a wife
Nate has a
that
wife.
can't stand him. Great sources of great advice. That's true though, because I mean it seemed like they still want to be a player. I believe one was supposed to be single and the other one was supposed to be married, but obviously unhappy, and they trying to live vicariously through Zach. That's how it comes off. But it's like you can't. You gotta live your life and I gotta live my life. And we still should be able to be friends and be independent of each other in that, but then come together, to celebrate different things within each other. And we definitely should not be hating on each other or wanting any type of downfalls, wanting any type of bad things, hurt, and things of that nature for each other. In my opinion, it's just I'm like,
Respect.
child, where these friends come from? Where do they
It's
come
all about
from?
respect. They have some disrespectful friends, is what it is. They don't know boundaries. Even Angela doesn't know boundaries. She doesn't know boundaries because she doesn't
Yes.
know when to separate she doesn't realize that Fatima and Belinda have a real issue right now. This isn't like
Right.
something that like for play. They have a
Yes.
real issue, and you have to know that okay, there's a line, and I can't cross this with you. Even if this video was going around in the office, I won't be the one to give it to you.
Exactly.
Period.
Exactly. Absolutely. Yeah. There's no way in the world that I would do something like that to my friend with
Exactly.
somebody that I know she don't rock with like that. Like I'm not showing you nothing to her. We not even talking about her. That's a whole like separate thing. I'm not talking about you to her or vice versa because y'all not rocking with each other unless y'all wanted to be where we having a meeting, okay? Like she was just saying on
Yeah.
the sister style where we all meeting up, child, and we talking it out, which obviously Fatima don't want to do. She feel like she made up her mind, and you have to respect that. You know, maybe you could still try to talk to Fatima on the side and talk to her on the side in reference to that. But if it's not about that, it daggone show would not be about showing no freaking video of hers. I think that was a big violation. And I'm
Exactly.
still was giving her the side eye from showing her the picture in sisters because I felt like who's this random friend that just so happened to know Zach and know Karen and know that you were friends with Fatima. That story never added up to me. So it's a lot of questions with Angela's concern for me.
Yeah.
Now, getting to Miss Connie, I'm trying to understand her too, honey, because she coming through like she's supposed to be, somebody that Zach is addicted to, her, that he can never turn down, never say no. They supposed to have this big history. Whenever she come through, everything supposed to stop. I'm just
Ah.
like, huh? Who? What?
I was like, who is Connie? Because I mean, the way she was eyeing him at the store, for one thing, and I guess
Mm-hmm.
blue is her color. I ain't even gonna lie. I just realized that because she had that blue dress on. Now she done showed up with this blue little suit on. But yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
was like, okay, who is Connie? Because they're making it seem like even the guys are making it seem like, oh, okay, yeah, they need to be together. You know,
Right.
like she the one, yada yada yada. And I'm just like, but why is that? Y'all want him to be single when it's all said and done,
Exactly.
or is it that you know that she just down for whatever? She's there when
Mm-hmm.
when he need her, and then that's it, and you know that you can do what you want to do. But I just didn't understand this whole thing. But Zach stood his ground. I mean, he did what he had to do. He walked away from it, but you could tell that he was slightly tempted by it, so it
Yeah,
must
you
be
definitely
somebody.
could tell that he was tempted and there was something there. He did say, like, nah, I can't do it and I can't do it for me. Because she implied, like, well, it never mattered who else he was with before. And of course, we know the history of his relationship with Karen. Well, if y'all don't know, if y'all not, viewers of sisters, his relationship with Karen was more so a thing of him cheating a lot during their relationship. That's how the whole first baby mother came into play because that was a one night stand at a strip club, So we know that Zach was getting around, but now he's trying to live a different life. So I mean, he still stuck to his guns. He didn't do it, but I'm just like, why are we having this Connie come into play now? That he was even nervous and looking around, like, let me make sure Fatima ain't coming up nowhere because he know it would be a problem, which is hilarious to me, especially given how you just acted a whole fool in the daggone elevator when it was the
Yeah.
opposite way before. So my other question is basically, what the heck is Zach doing? Because Zach, you kind of making some suspect moves too, child, and you just finished trying to go real hard. Okay, some of your decisions is not being too bright right now. Where
Okay.
I'm like, okay, Zach, I always be trying to give you credit, but when these two episodes between the way your anger was and between like the friends aspect of it and just this Connie coming into the mix and all that, I was like, Zach, do we want to like use our brain a little bit, rethink things?
Okay, because there was I saw Shari said
The
that she saw.
thirst for Connie, thirst from Connie is real. Yes.
Okay, I saw where Shari had said that she saw a sign of maturity on Zach's part, and just to kind of speak on that, because there was when I was first looking at it, I was like, why is Zach being so daggum immature? Because that's all I was thinking. I was like, gosh,
Mm-hmm.
this is so immature. Like Zach, you're reverting. And
Mm-hmm.
then at the end, when he's at the basketball court, I was like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
look, Zach is he coming back to himself a little bit, So
Right.
at the end, he kind of tries to do this redeem thing where he walks away from Connie, and I was proud
Mm-hmm.
of Zach. I was like, okay, you walked away.
Renee, I took it as it being both, to be honest with you. I mean, we didn't really get the full details because we would see it like 1 minute together, then 1 minute they not. But then, of course, we don't know if, because of course it's just Karen's perspective, so we don't really know. But when Karen would talk about stories with Andy and them, or even when Andy would be talking about their relationship to her, they always kind of made it seem like y'all did the makeup to break up a lot, which a lot of couples do. And
Yeah.
so when they would have breaks, he would go and be with other people. But she did also mention times that he cheated on her. And she also mentioned having a STD from him before. So I don't know like how many times it actually was that he really cheated, you know what I mean? Versus seeing other people when they were no longer together. Was it one time, 2 times, or whatever? They never really went into the details, but they did kind of made it seem like it was a situation where it was both. And you can't really count the times when they wasn't together because y'all just wasn't together and y'all could see whoever y'all want to see during that time. So I
Yeah.
don't know.
Y'all know the only
But that's a
episode
good question.
the only episodes I ever saw of Sisters was the first few episodes, and really the episode where Karen had went to when we were talking about the STD and they
Yeah.
had and he had I was like, okay. And see that's so crazy because I when I started to review this show, I didn't want to have any crossover in my mind or make any
Right.
determinations of either of the characters because I wanted
Yeah,
to
because
see
I
how I
know
felt
he did
about them.
apologize for that. He did, say that he did a lot of wrong things. And as far as his relationship with Fatima, it has been completely different. And that's part of where Karen's jealousy comes in at because it's like, this is the man that I wanted him to be. And now he's being that way with you.
With
So,
someone else. And that
you know,
happens a lot too. It really
yes,
does.
absolutely.
And it just is what it
Hmm.
is.
Absolutely. But yeah, Connie girl, you don't want none of Fatima, honey. She talking about well, it usually don't matter. Anybody else you be with, I still be there. He like, yeah, but not in this case,
Girl,
bro.
you don't want what's in that purse. Let him
Right.
alone.
You don't want none of that. I'm gonna tell you that right now. She was trying hard. She kind of favors Jada to me, Jada Pinkett Smith, like back in the days for
Yeah,
some
in that
reason.
thing right there.
Oh, I'm skipping too far, but this is when we see Fatima talking to her mama, and we did get a little background. What was it in the last episodes where she said she hadn't told her mom about moving in with him yet, not even
Yep.
being engaged to him. So mama done been trying to reach out to her. She got a package that's been coming back to her nonstop, and she said they gave her a forward and address. Now, why didn't Fatima? I guess she was probably so caught up in thinking about, what happened in the elevator, what happened, what Angela told her, but you shouldn't have been rushing off the phone with Mama, Fatima. You should have been trying to figure out what Mama know and where Mama going. Cause baby,
Okay.
what did you think about this part as far as her with the mom?
Yeah, mama looked like she was on a mission, but I just thought it was interesting. To be honest, I thought it was interesting that we're only talking about the span of 3 weeks. I was
Right.
like, it's only been 3 weeks. I said, all of this stuff has happened in 3 weeks. Oh my gosh.
Exactly. That's
Jeez
how it is in
Louise.
Tyler Perry world.
Okay, I was like, okay, Tyler. Okay, we got 3 weeks worth of stuff in these. We got 10 episodes from the first one.
Hmm.
Maybe it will get 10 from this one. I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, my initial thought that literally was my initial thoughts. Like 3 weeks, and Mama
Hmm.
don't know nothing about any of this
Right.
and the engagement, none of this stuff. I'm just like, I just
Hmm.
knew that Mama was gonna do something. I didn't know she was about to,
Exactly.
but I knew
Hmm.
she was gonna do something because she just looked like she was on a mission at that point, and she was trying to get these answers, and Fatima wasn't trying to give.
Yeah, it's like I don't, like I said, I think, oh, excuse me, I think that Fatima was just kind of consumed in what she got going on. So it's like, Ma, I'll call you back because that's not another thing she want to handle right now. But usually Fatima's very observant. I'm sure she knows her mother well. So that definitely would have been one of those moments when I would have been like, okay, wait, what? And I would have took a little bit more time out to talk to Mama Child because I think that's about to be a whole
Girl, that's about to
another
be
thing. But
interesting right there.
let's see what this comment says. All of Zach and Fatima problems are caused by them. If they would just handle the situations maturely by putting their feet down and setting boundaries. Absolutely. You definitely do have to set boundaries. I agree with that. You got to
And they
set
need
boundaries.
to.
You got to have good communication, um, and set things straight with friends and family and set things straight with each other as well as to
Yeah.
where you want to go to. And the fact that is, like y'all said, most times it's outsiders. It's not even something that's between them. So that says a lot. A good mother knows,
No
yes,
good
her
child, yeah.
child, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Absolutely. I don't know. I
She
just feel
says, I
like
think her mother is going to be the equivalent to Miss Lisa and sisters. An overprotective mama bear. Absolutely, yeah. And I like Miss Lisa for the most part. I think she keeps it real. Even Fatima had to say, like, yeah, I like her. And even for even Miss Lisa liked Fatima. So that was always interesting to me.
that's what's up.
So
Miss
I could
Lisa is
definitely,
Karen's mom, right?
yes.
Okay. See,
I could
I know some.
definitely
I follow.
I could definitely see, her coming through. So of course, child, I don't know. This is another part where I'm like, Zach, what are you doing? You're out here in your underwear. And I'm sorry, y'all, this is kind of dark, but this was when he was standing outside with Deja. She still, child, where you going so much, Deja, for somebody in pain with a back brace, child? I mean, neck brace.
Okay.
Every minute you getting out the car saying you need help, you need to look into a home health thing.
Okay. I said
So
Deja ain't gonna learn. Deja not
right.
gonna
So
learn.
with Zach knowing how Fatima is and knowing she could be coming home any minute, why would you be outside in the first place with your boxers on helping Deja out the car? Can somebody tell me that, please? Because that's my
Girl.
questions.
Listen, I don't know what Zach is thinking. I'm like, Zach, you know your girl. And after the way that you just acted today, like, dude, come on now. That's gonna open up a door straight for Fatima to go straight in on you. And the only difference is
Mm-hmm.
you actually out here. I mean, especially if Fatima had walked in when
Mm-hmm.
Asia tried to throw that leg over, girl,
Right.
it would have been over. She would have really needed that neck brace for
Absolutely.
real.
She would have cracked that leg in half. That leg would have been in a daggone brace too. Shoot. Threw her like
Okay.
she threw that trash. Like, and then he got the nerve to be looking around the same way he did when it came to Connie. And it's like, if you know you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing in the first place, stop it.
Just
Go.
stop it. That's all you got to do is just stop it. Like I would have just walked back in the house. Like literally, that's all he had to do. You see her
Right.
out there, just
Mm-hmm.
walk away, Zach. Like that's my
Um,
best advice to Zach.
Dawn
Walk
says,
away.
I can't take it. Zach and Fatima house is the easiest house to find in America. Child, ain't it?
Girl.
Everybody find that
Okay.
house.
Everybody know where that house
Zach is
is.
doing too much when it comes to Deja.
Everybody know where that house
Deja was
is.
so phony. Yes.
Oh
Deja is
yeah.
not hurt. No, she not. She just
Deja
want
not hurt.
attention and she want to ride this wave for as long as she can. She probably trying to get some type of daggone benefits, disability benefits. Who know?
She said
Oh
that's what he
my
had on the
goodness,
basketball. So
y'all.
that's why he said he had a headache.
So of course this is like, coming up to the end now. He's literally got her picked up in the daggone air. A car's driving up. Deja talking about who's that?
I would have left her on the ground. I ain't gonna
I
lie to you.
sure would.
When she went to that ground when he was trying
Oh
to help her up,
God,
she would have been still on that ground. I would have walked away. I would have been like, "Look, you don't want my help because I'm not about to tote you."
Oh yeah, he did have these on at the basketball court. I'm sorry, I'll keep calling them boxes. He did have this on
They
at the
is
basketball.
short shorts though.
So
They
you
are
didn't
short.
even go in the house and shower nothing yet. And you stopping with Deja's that child. You right, you right. So that make it not as bad, but still. Because I was like, I know he ain't standing out here in no boxes. And like I said, this scene was kind of dark, so. But
Yeah,
I'm just like, Fatima doesn't matter. She's going to look and be like, why are you there? Because every time you see him having an interaction with Deja's concern, what's the first thing Fatima tell him? Get your butt in the house. Get your butt in the car. You know what I'm saying? Stay away from her. Get your behind from over there. So if you already know that's going to be Fatima's reaction and you know how Fatima feels about her, Like, why even put yourself in that predicament,
Exactly. Zach kind of put some of this stuff on himself, to be honest. I mean, he knows that everybody pull up.
Yeah,
Like we
Sherry
were just
makes a good
saying, a lot
point.
of people pull up all the time. So why you even
Hmm.
put yourself in this position? Yo, it's dark outside, so Fatima could be coming home
Right.
any time now. And if she see him in this position, bruh, it's over with. So I don't know
Hmm.
why he does this to himself, but yet he continues to help Miss Helpless Deja.
Right. Yeah, Sherry says that the pasado of her the damsel in distress, is tiresome. And she was like, maybe Angela is right to a certain, well, I'm adding in words, but right, a man likes to be, needed. And Deja, I'm sorry, y'all. These words are so small and my glasses need to be fixed. So,
You want me to read the rest of it?
yes.
And Deja, no matter how fake, gets Zach to come to her rescue, and he knows that Deja is faking it. He know it.
Absolutely. He know that.
He
But
know.
I think he also don't want her to have like a lawsuit against them because he knows that Fatima did do some things at the same time. But yeah,
Yeah.
he puts himself in predicaments where even when it's innocent, it could turn into something bigger and become a bigger issue. And so if you know that, then you should be more aware and stay away from that situation and cut off all ties completely. If it's not about you giving me my rent money or me having to fix whatever in your place because she is a tenant, it's really not nothing for us to talk about, period. Like we was just saying,
Yeah.
boundaries. And he's
Exactly.
not sticking to the boundaries at all. Every time you turn around, he falls right back into the trap.
Every time.
Mm-hmm.
Every single time.
Yeah. Mostly everybody is talking about how he falls for it. And he already knows that Fatima's gonna get in his daggone behind. She said Jane the Jane go unchain Lord. Zach has come to the rescue for the Zamzoom.
Just putting
In
it for yes.
distress, pulling the relationship. Yeah, it's like I don't know. Y'all already are kind of stressed right now and had this other argument with the whole, what was his name, Paul, Bob the Builder,
Bob the Builder.
in the elevator. So you don't need to come back and have no other arguments right now.
Exactly.
Yeah, she probably won't have the first month's rent, and then she'll be using this as an excuse why she shouldn't have to pay. Deja always looking for a shortcut.
Hey, Deja say she know the game. She
Yeah,
gonna
he
figure it out.
definitely needs to hire a maintenance man. He should have been hired one
Yeah, but
immediately.
now we seeing it's only about 3 weeks in. We gotta.
Right.
I'm like Zach. You need to start doing stuff a little bit faster. Come on now.
Right. So of course, this is when he gets the introduction because he like, who the heck are
Okay.
you? And I'm Fatima's mom. I said, uh-oh. Now we
Okay.
getting down to business, and I
You
don't
must
know if
be
this is a
Zach.
good first impression.
Heck no. She said you must
Of
be
course,
Zach.
he dropped Zaja behind right on the daggone ground after that. He did what he should have been did in that moment.
Okay. I was like, oh, her neck hurt for real now. Cause he done dropped her butt blue. I
Uh-huh. What
said,
you think,
dang.
what you think the mom's reaction is gonna be? I'm sure she gonna be like a no nonsense type of person. I mean, this is definitely interesting because we're gonna get to see more of kind of Fatima's background and where she come from and what makes her the way she is and things of that nature. I've been wanting to know that for a minute because she would constantly be warning Zach, like, you don't know my family, you don't know where I come from, you don't know how my cousin and this one and that one get down.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm definitely looking forward to this. And even though, especially Zach mom and dad one brother, even though they are horrible from what we see so far with them.
Yeah.
But I even like that aspect, just getting more of their background, where they come from, how their relationships is. So just like talk a little bit about what you think mom's reaction to this is gonna be, and then when Fatima get home, how she gonna feel that mama done pulled up.
Oh my goodness. You know what? I don't think that Zach gonna be able to handle the mama and Fatima both at the same time, because I feel like the mama, just a look on her face alone, I'm like, Zach, you not finna win this one. You're not even gonna be able to really explain this in any way that's going to matter. It's gonna be just like you was at that doggone elevator when you was going off and you wouldn't let Fatima explain it. There is gonna be no explanation for this when it's all said and done. And I think the mama is gonna come for Zach. At first, I was like, well, maybe she'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, nah, this Fatima.
Yeah.
This his mama finna go in, and it's gonna be. And I'm ready. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I'm so ready
Yeah,
to
I'm
see what her
definitely
first words
interested.
are going
Yes,
to
I
be.
agree because I don't know if you saw the live we did last week, Tina, but I brought up the fact that Deja had already got a warning from Madam. And as soon as she saw her, she knew who she was. She knew what she was about. So,
Mm-hmm.
we got to remember that this sometimes is different universes, different, timelines. So I don't know if she's supposed to have not had the
Yeah,
conversation with her yet because baby, she was shook. Okay, so I don't know.
because that is interesting. Because, like you said,
Hey,
like you
love
keep saying,
conversation.
this timeline, we know that it's only been about 3 weeks, and we don't know
Mm-hmm.
when the Madam visit was, because
Right.
I don't understand how you can meet Madam and
Mm-hmm.
still do this foolishness. I ain't even gonna
Exactly.
lie. I would have left Zach alone. I would have been like, look, as soon as this lease
Mm-hmm.
is up, bruh, I'm out.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah,
So
this is definitely not gonna be easy, with the little bit that we do know of her family. So, and she even said to him, like, you don't know my mother and father. Okay. So, I don't know. But yeah, we gonna be looking forward to this, y'all. But that is
Fatima
basically,
is a
the
malfunction.
episode. I appreciate you guys coming out and showing us some love, joining the live,
Yes, yes.
leaving great comments. EJ, you want to talk about, what you got coming up on your channel?
Yeah, let me see. So I'm finishing up my first impression of Swarm. So I did a first impression video, and hopefully we'll get together and be able to do like a whole live on it. But I wanted to do a first impression of it, so I'm finishing that up, and I'll get that uploaded. I actually did do just a recap over Zatima. I uploaded that today. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
little bit behind on some of my stuff. I'm probably not even gonna. I did a Bel Air video, but it just feels like, I don't know. It just feels like it wouldn't even be worth uploading at this point. But I don't know. I got sick, so everybody in my
Yeah.
house is sick. So I've just been kind of behind. But for the
Mm-hmm.
most part, I just have those coming up, and then
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to start doing some new stuff that I'm going to be adding to my channel. So we'll see how that goes. And then I hope to start back finishing up my rewatches of the Family Business, because I'm
Mm-hmm.
rewatching that. And I want to get back into that. So now that things are kind of slowing down a little bit, I think I'm gonna jump back into that.
Okay. That sounds good. Yeah, so on my end, I think I'm gonna be on Muchella's channel Wednesday. Gotta check and make sure because I know we gotta discuss the last episode of Godfather Harlem, but more than likely I'm gonna probably have just my separate recap of Godfather Harlem, the season finale, up either tonight sometime or tomorrow definitely. I may put up 2 videos because I was thinking about it. I had a lot to say with this last episode situation with the team. I haven't been doing regular recaps on them. I did do that with the first season, but usually I just wait till when we talk about it up here in discussion. So you may see that tomorrow. We'll see. But definitely Thursday, we do a Snowfall live, me and Muchella, and it's gonna fall on my channel. We usually rotate, but it basically now that that we can stream on both channels, it'll be up on
Yeah.
both channels. The same thing with Love at the Lockup, but that's gonna be her turn this week. And then if y'all missed it yesterday, EJ actually joined us for Throwback Movie Sunday that we do every fourth
Yeah.
Sunday of the month. And this choice was
Brewster's
Woman
Place.
of Brewster Place.
Yep.
So, if anybody want to check that out, please do. And then normally I'll just do like a regular recap with Bel Air and Power Book too. Sometimes I do a lot, but I'm new to the lives, y'all. I'm trying to start doing more lives, but most of my stuff is usually
Same.
just recaps. So you'll either catch one or the other or both. And yeah, just keep your notifications on. I thank everybody for joining. I'm also going to try to do a self-care Saturday and what you should be watching live this Saturday. Normally I just record those, but like I said, trying to do more
Trying to do
live,
more lives.
work in
That's what's
progress.
up.
And we are going to try to talk behind the scenes and figure out when this swarm is going down. If it's not that, maybe it's something else. I don't know, but it'll be something. So stay
Okay.
tuned. But we definitely appreciate you all for coming out and rocking with us. I don't know what I just pressed because everything disappeared. I was trying to see some of the names that joined us. Um, um
I can see a few of
Dawn,
you.
Renee,
Okay, you got it.
Sherry, Love Covers All. I think Muchella has stopped in for a minute.
Blatant Truth
Tina,
stop by.
you know, definitely thank you to all of y'all. If I miss anybody name, I apologize.
Shari say she wants you to put them Zatima recaps up, girl.
See, Griff, I'm gonna try. Sometimes I'll be so exhausted. Y'all don't know I was up for like 24 hours straight just trying to do slides and thumbnails and all different kind of stuff. It was crazy because I had a couple of different, other people channels I was on and then trying to do my own thing. So sometimes I gotta, relax, relate, release. But I definitely did want to talk about some stuff. So I may just make a little, side video about that. Y'all may see that up tomorrow.
That's what's up.
Well, thank y'all for coming, and we will be back next week. Next week, we will be on EJ's channel, but again, it will be streaming on both our channels, so you can see it either way. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Appreciate y'all. Have a good night.